How are you, Danny?
Very good. How are you?
Good to finally get you in here.
Likewise.
How has it been being back?
Being back here, It's been very good.
Good.
Yeah, very good. Yeah.
I always wonder when people are visiting after a period where they haven't been here for a while.
It's been a minute.
Better or worse when you walk down the street?
I don't remember the.
Like a Thriller video, or is it getting better?
We have our studios really close to here, so I'm very familiar with this area.
Yes.
Yeah. I spend a lot of time in this area.
Do you feel like it's cleaning up or getting worse? Because I can't tell.
I think it's getting worse.
Yeah.
But only marginally. I saw recently, actually, right around here, some guy pull a huge, Rambo knife on a woman.
In the middle of the day.
No, this was at night,
Okay.
so in his defense. And
Okay.
it was in the middle of the night, and there was tons of people around, and then he was kind of yelling, and there's all these cops around, and then they just kind of didn't do anything, and then he just put it away, and he just scurried away, and that was it.
I find lots of public shitting at this time of the day.
I
Less with
haven't
the knives and
seen-
more with the poop.
I haven't seen a lot of shitting. There is a lot of open-air drug dealing,
Yes.
which is convenient.
Yeah. Speaking of getting clean, guys, this is an actual sobriety. This is boy sobriety. Marissa, do you know her? Charpentier, and there's a CH in it. Charpentier is a comedian. Oh, I'm sorry. No, she wrote this article and she's spotlighting a comedian named where is her name? Anyway, she claims that she is going boy sober.
The name is a really important part of the article.
Woodward. Hope Woodward.
Great.
Hope Woodward?
Yeah.
Never heard of her.
Maybe not that big of a comedian.
Boy
Well, it's
sober.
because she's boy sober, so she won't interact with you.
Yeah, thank you. Quote, I hate the word celibacy, said the host of the event, Hope Woodward, a comedian and storyteller, I love that phrase, who grew up in the Church of Christ in rural Tennessee. She describes herself as, another favorite phrase, sex positive.
This is in the New York Times.
This is in the New York Times. And sometimes wears a button that says, I heart female orgasms to prove it. So you guys, she's Church of Christ light.
Right.
But after taking the inventory of her dating life in October, realized that she had been in a relationship of some kind since kindergarten. Also must be a Church of Christ thing.
Oh,
She
weird.
decided to take a year away from sex. And
Wait.
dating.
I'm sorry, but Jesus is my boyfriend. When does that end? Maybe she had a boyfriend from kindergarten because, her
16?
parents told her, you're married to the Lord.
Oh, okay. Then they didn't ask the right questions with this. Again, they don't really establish exactly how religious she is now. Miss Woodward, 27, that's a dangerous age for drug users. Now she is describing the experience in a monthly storytelling and comedy show called Boy Sober at Purgatory, an entertainment venue in Brooklyn's Bushwick neighborhood. Comedians tell stories about inconsiderate partners who had left pubic hairs on the toilet seat, offered unrefrigerated cheese sticks from their back pocket. Who are they dating?
You sound like lame stories.
Yeah, it sounds like a real hoot.
They're dating that really dirty guy in the Peanuts game, and invited a different woman to a Halloween party that they had planned on going to together. So these are all some of the stories. Says Ms. Woodward, maybe we are one of the first generations of women where we don't actually have to plug into a man for energy and power and whatever. Mostly women in the audience celebrate this boy sober lifestyle. Another member of the audience said, when you get out of a relationship or you have a really bad situationship, another great phrase, and dating or seeing people is tainted, you want to rinse it from your mouth. I feel like the best way to do it is celibacy. It's going to be this year's hottest mental health craze. Guys, what do you think?
Dying alone is the hottest mental health craze.
Yeah.
Depends on how you phrase
Didn't we,
it.
we just used to call these cat ladies.
Oh, how dare
They're
you?
like they're
say
taking it back.
that. Yeah, this is a complete taking back the night thing.
Yeah.
She seems. There's no video or anything because I'm terrible at my job. But she seems cute and nice, I suppose.
You're-
I think the boy sober thing is a great repackaging.
I don't mind whatever kind of sober you want to be, but the people who talk about it incessantly are the worst.
Oh, the ones who do the comedy around it are probably even worse. I can't imagine this is going to be the greatest.
It is. If you're
Comedy
especially a
show.
freelancer, you're just trying to come up with trends, perhaps ones that don't exist, just to pique the interest of your editor.
Sure.
This might be in that category. But it is a show.
Yeah.
People are going to it, and it is called Boy Sober.
She'll be probably writing on The Tonight Show in no time.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing that I find also to be an interesting trend that's really cropped up in the last 20 years or so is the boy this, girl that. Like the girl, what is it? The girl dinner that we did with the TikTok.
Yes.
Then of course they'll do the boy dinner. It's all of these cutesy pet names. Man and woman don't really exist anymore. It's either boy this, girl that, and this seems to be going with it, boy sober. Like if you were really to deconstruct that, yeah, you should be boy sober. That sounds illegal. Like wait until they're of age.
Yeah, I think everything will kind of take care of itself for them too. The boy soberness. I imagine that type of person is not too many dudes want to be around that.
Well, and I hate to say it, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer here, but I look at how long some of these people were talking about their celibacy in this article, and I'm like, you pussies. You don't know what real celibacy is. So if anything, I felt like proud of myself.
Yeah, but theirs is a choice, Bill.
Yeah.
I knew you were going to do that.
It's just a little barb, huh?
So, like, do you not have any of these type of friends that are just like, fuck it? Like, screw men. I'm doing the purposeful celibacy thing.
No, because I don't think I would be friends with someone like that.
That makes sense.
I have definitely had friends who don't concern themselves with trying to get a date or a man.
Okay, well, that's kind of what I'm
because
asking.
they're career focused, or
Right.
they're just focusing on something else, and they don't talk about it all the time because you're still giving your power to the man by talking about how you don't need a man.
That's a good point. That's a very valid point. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Danny, how about yourself? Do you know
I'm not
any
friends
boy
with
sober?
women.
Better policy.
Yeah, I'm not friends with women, so.
Girls that are friends sober. It's wordy.
Oh, that's not
Won't
true. I have a
catch
few
up.
female comedian friends, but not those type of comedians.
Yeah. You're clearly sick of boys sober.
Speaking of comedians,
Okay.
Shane Gillis set to host Saturday Night Live 5 years after being fired by Lorne
Wow.
Michaels. So in 2019, for those who are living under a rock, he was announced as a cast member but was fired before appearing in a single episode after he was heard using a racial slur in a since deleted 2018 video posted on YouTube. At the time, Gillis responded to the video saying, "I'm a comedian who pushes boundaries. I sometimes miss. If you go through my 10 years of comedy, most of it bad, you're going to find a lot of bad misses. I'm happy to apologize to anyone who's actually offended by anything I've said," which I love. I think that was a great statement.
You didn't.
He has 2 comedy specials, one on Netflix that he released in 2023. First one is on YouTube. So would you say that his getting fired from SNL was the best thing to happen to him?
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, there's a very good chance, he could have just done, 2 sketches for a year and just got fired anyways.
Yeah,
Which is
seriously.
I mean, they hired that year like 4 people. I think Bowen Yang's the only one who's still kicking around.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
And I don't even know who the other ones were.
There's so many.
He might be on there. Who knows?
I remember thinking about this recently. Rob Riggle was talking about how he was on Saturday Night Live. I'm like, he was? I had no memory of him ever in a sketch. And apparently, there's all these great talents out there. You have to be to get cast, I suppose, that just never get any. I mean, Larry David famously never got a sketch on.
Yeah, some people just like never get
Just,
get on and.
So you're right.
I mean, it's definitely better for him in hindsight, no question. I'm curious to see how he. My one thing I was thinking about with that is because I guarantee a lot of the people who are writers there hate him, and so and obviously I don't know if they're gonna be kind of sandbagging him because maybe that's all they do anyways because the show sucks. But are they gonna be like, oh, our sketches are kind of really shitty this week, like really shitty, even for us.
Well, then that'll be even more interesting as far as the monologue is concerned.
I guess. I'm just wondering, are they, what kind of sketches are they going to write for him, Because I can't imagine when Chappelle did it, they were a bunch of them were we're not participating in this.
Right. Ugh, good.
So he's going to be in the same kind of boat. So I'm curious to see that.
The whole monologue will be... I mean, unless he thinks it's too obvious, but no, he'll still. The whole monologue's just going to be about him being fired. Yeah, I mean, that's what Adam Sandler did. People forget Sandler,
Norm
Farley, and Norm Macdonald. They were all fired. Sandler got fired and addressed it when he finally came back to. Yeah, he talked about it in the monologue.
I thought he just left.
I always think that's interesting too because obviously they're going to let him do whatever they want to do. But Lorne Michaels don't like to be wrong, and he's still very much in charge.
Yeah, I mean, I think he just knows that's it seems like he's willing to put aside his mistakes for the sake of the show. I guess.
I guess
because Norm just went and shit on the show when he hosted it.
Yeah. But I think Lorne would always sort of like punt and say that it was sort of even the higher powers that be that forced his hand to fire them.
General Electric.
At the time, yeah, exactly. Or maybe like Dick Ebersol, who was technically above Lorne or something like that. But in this case, it's been a long time since that hell happened with Norm, Farley, or Sandler. At this point, nobody can touch Norm.
Yeah.
This is a mistake. This is a thing that he did.
Yeah.
He fired him. And so
the thing I feel like with Sandler and Farley is like maybe they're like you're fired from Saturday Night Live, but then they went on to go make movies with Lorne Michaels production company.
yeah, totally.
So it's like you're kind of fired, but you're
Right.
like not really. Whereas I
Not
don't think
blacklisted.
Norm was doing stuff with his production company. I don't know if
Yes.
Norm was going to do movies. Maybe I could be wrong about that. I don't know if
think so. Yeah, I think
was
you
Dirty
are.
Work after he was fired. Should have been right around there,
Yeah.
but I don't know the timing.
I don't know if that was a Lorne thing.
I don't know if that was Lauren. No.
But that'll be interesting. Is this coming up? I forget. When is this next week?
Next Saturday,
24th.
24th.
Musical guest 21 Savage. I'm getting old that I just like don't know who these musical artists are anymore.
Well, how do you think I feel?
He's a rapper. You listen to a lot of rap?
Look at me. Of course I do.